The New Orleans Pelicans are still planning on keeping and rebuilding around Zion Williamson, and for that reason I have decided that today we're going to be trading away every single player on the Pelicans roster except for the man himself, Zion Williamson. And first things first, we need ourselves a floor spacing big man, and Okongwu has become one of the best 3-point shooting centers in the entire NBA. We also get ourselves Nickeil Alexander-Walker if the Atlanta Hawks accept this trade. I'm offering them Derek Queen and Herb Jones, whose position I have changed over to small forward. Let's see what the Hawks say. They do give us a counteroffer. They want Bryce and a lottery protected first round pick, and they'll give us Gabe Vincent. Let's go ahead and pull off this trade. I have a pretty insane trade offer here in mind. We're going to be targeting LaMelo Ball to be our brand new starting point guard. We are offering the Charlotte Hornets, DeJounte Murray and Jeremiah Fears, and of course that does not get it done. What if we throw in some first round picks, and one first round pick gets a trade done and we land ourselves LaMelo Ball as our brand new starting point guard. I will be pulling off this trade here with the Minnesota Timberwolves, but we're not going to be keeping Julius Randle. We will be flipping him, but we do get ourselves Dante DiVincenzo as a brand new backup point guard. For this trade, we send away Trey Murphy III and Sadiq Bey. For the next trade, we're going to be trading away Julius Randle and Jordan Poole to the Utah Jazz, where we bring in Jaren Jackson Jr. and Walker Kessler. I'll show you guys what I'm planning on doing with Jaren Jackson Jr. here in a second. We will be keeping him, but Walker Kessler we probably will flip. We now need ourselves a new starting small forward, and Peyton Watson is someone I have become a really big fan of. He's a good 3-point shooter, plus he's a really good defender as well, so I'm going to be offering the Denver Nuggets Walker Kessler, and as of right now they do decline. What if we throw in a first round pick? They give us a counteroffer. They want Jordan and a second rounder for Zeke Naji. Let's go ahead and pull off this trade. The next trade will be trading away Misi and Kevon Looney. In return, we bring in Max Christie and Caleb Martin. Christie is a really good 3-and-D player, so having him on this team as our bench player will definitely help out our team's offense and defense. We will be bringing in another elite 3-point shooter in Sam Morrell, where we send the Cavaliers Jordan Hawkins and Carlo Matkovic. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, so let's go ahead and pull off this trade. Our last player to trade away is PV, and we're going to be trading him away to the Houston Rockets, where we bring in a first round pick and we also acquire a second rounder. I would like to change Max Christie's position from shooting guard to small forward, where he goes up to an 81 overall. And now, before I give a quick rundown of the new roster, I would really appreciate it if y'all could drop a thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you're new. That really does support on my channel and video a ton. So in our starting lineup, we have ourselves LaMelo Ball, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Peyton Watson, Zion Williamson, and Jaren Jackson Jr. as our starting center. Then off the bench, we have Okongwu, Max Christie, Dante DiVincenzo, and Sam Morrell. I believe we have a team that can go out there and even win a championship. Let's go ahead and simulate the first few games and see how our team does. So the first game against Memphis Grizzlies, we go on to win 133-129. And Zion had 24 points and 14 rebounds. 22 from Naw, 21 from LaMelo, and an 18-point double-double from Jaren Jackson Jr. We also go on to defeat the Spurs, and yes we can, winning this game 117-107. Dante DiVincenzo dropping 21 points in 19 minutes. Zion with another 20-point double-double with also 4 steals and 2 blocks. And to start off this season, we are rolling with a 3.5-star overall system proficiency balanced under James Borrego. Now I'm going to start simulating here until the end of this season, but if there's any trades to be made, I'll stop at the trade deadline to show you all. And at the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win an MVP, Yegor Demon, Rookie of the Year, Darren Sharp, 6-man, Wemby also wins Defensive Player, Musa wins Most Improved, Cade Cunningham, Clutch Player, JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year, and we go on to win Executive of the Year. Let's see if we have any All-NBA selections. We do get ourselves Zion Williamson on an All-NBA second team. Let's go. Will we have any more awards? And we also get Jaren Jackson Jr. on an all-defensive second team. That is what I'm talking about. We ended this season being the number 2 seed, winning a total of 55 games and losing only 27. So clearly the trades we have pulled off so far has made our team a lot better than before. Before we start simulating here in the playoffs, let's take a look at the player stats for the regular season. So our leading scorer was none other than Zion Williamson, averaging 25 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, shooting 66% from the field. 19 from LaMelo, 17 from Triple J, 14 from Okongwu, 13 from Watson, and 12 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And now in the first round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Houston Rockets, who have themselves Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, and Alperen Şengün, and this is their bench unit. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us. Triple J leading the way here, dropping 29 points, 25 from Zion and 24 from LaMelo. Game number 2 will also go to us. This time, Melo leads the way with 33 points, 26 from Zion, and a 21-point double-double from Okongwu. Game 3, we also going to win, and we do not sweep the Houston Rockets, but we do gentlemen sweep them, beating them in Game 5. So far, LaMelo is averaging 25 points per game, and Zion is averaging nearly a 24-point double-double, while shooting 70% from the field. And it looks like in the second round, we will have to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending NBA champions, and they have themselves Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Cason Wallace, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein, and this is their bench unit. And hopefully we're able to get past this team. Let's see what happens. Game number 1 will go to us. Zion goes off here for a 38-point double-double. Let's go. Jaren Jackson Jr. with 22, 17 from LaMelo. Game number 2 will also go to us. Zion drops 31 points and 15 rebounds. Peyton Watson with 29, Nah with 20, and 19 from Triple J. We are now up 2-0 against the OKC Thunder. Can we make that 3-0? And we cannot. They do defeat us here in Game 3, and they also beat us in Game 4, tying up the series. Zion had 32, 23 from Triple J, but we do fall short. What I will do is come up with a defensive coach game plan, and then we'll advance to Game 5. Alrighty, I have come up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's go ahead and simulate Game 5, and we do also end up losing Game 5 here, 143 to 118. Triple J with 26, 24, and 11 from Zion, but sadly that was not enough, and it looks like a player on our team did foul out, or never mind, that was Dante DiVincenzo, who just played 16 minutes. Let's jump into Simcast here for Game 6. Thunder have home court advantage. So far it's a close battle, back and forth. They're up by 3 points, 150 remaining. Let's jump in, 120 remaining. They are up by 3 points. I did attempt to sub in our starters, but sadly we do not have ourselves any timeouts remaining. So now the OKC Thunder do have the ball, and I forgot to hit record. So right now Shai is about to start driving up with a ball. I'll show you guys here. Right now he's running up with it, and let's jump in and see what he does. Guarded by LaMelo Ball, and LaMelo Ball with the steal. Let's go up to Max Christie, wide open LaMelo with a wide open layup. Now we cut the lead to only 1. Shai coming up with the ball, guarded by LaMelo Ball. Let's see what he does here. LaMelo has been playing pretty good defense on him so far. Shai once again, oh god, kind of a wide open layup there, and he ends up getting that. Now the OKC Thunder are up by 2. Zion Williamson guarded by Chet Holmgren. Let's see what he does here. Christie to Watson. Let's see, wide open Max Christie with a slam dunk. Let's go. And now the lead is cut down to 1 once again. Now we have Shai driving up with it on LaMelo Ball, and whoa, where is the defense there, LaMelo? I thought LaMelo was playing pretty good defense up until now. Zion guarded by Chet. Let's see if he can do anything. LaMelo was kind of wide open there for a second, but sadly the ball got to him a little too late. And he goes for the midi, and of course he misses. Damn. It looks like the Thunder will be going to the free throw line. This game is over. We end up losing 129 to 124. And just like that, our team has been eliminated from the playoffs. That truly does suck, but I mean, we tried our best. That means this offseason, we're just going to have to upgrade our roster even more by pulling off some pretty big trades. Now let's go ahead and simulate past the playoffs and see which team goes on to win. It will be the Orlando Magic taking on the Timberwolves, and the Minnesota Timberwolves go on to win with Anthony Edwards winning Finals MVP. And here are the player stats for the playoffs. In case you guys were wondering, we played a total of 11 games, and Zion was our leading scorer, averaging 25 points per game, 22 from Triple J, and 19 from LaMelo. And I will go ahead and fire our current head coach, James Borrega. I'm going to attempt to bring in someone new. We do have options like Ty Lue and Jamal Mosley, so I'm going to go ahead and offer both of them a contract and see which one of the two will end up accepting. Let's see. And it looks like Ty Lue will accept, which means we get him as our brand new head coach. We did have ourselves a second round pick, so I drafted Carter Knox. I don't know if he's going to be a part of our rotation in the future. That all depends on how he progresses, but it does look like he's a decent three-point shooter and could develop into a good defender as well. So hopefully he does end up progressing in the next few off seasons. Team player options, it looks like we don't have to re-sign anyone in team player options. What about qualifying offers? We do need to re-sign Peyton Watson, which is going to be a pretty big free agency signing for us, because he is currently our starting small forward. It looks like he does have 7 offers from 7 separate teams, but honestly that's alright because he is a restricted free agent and we also have bird rights on him, so that means no team will be able to steal him from us. We'll just match whatever they offer him. And we do end up re-signing Peyton Watson. He accepts on a 4-year $56 million contract, and we also sign ourselves Quentin Grimes on a 2-year $6.7 million contract. Last season our team struggled big time on rebounding, so I'm going to try bringing in Josh Hart, who is a really good rebounder. He's a good defender, can play make, he can literally do everything we need him to. So I'm going to be offering the New York Knicks Dante DiVincenzo and Sam Morrell for Josh Hart, and as of right now they decline. So let's start throwing in some second rounders and see if we can get this done. And yes, we can. 2 second round picks lands us Josh Hart. We don't need Caleb Martin and his $10 million contract, so I will be trading him away to the Charlotte Hornets, where we bring in a top 3 protected first round pick. Here we are at the start of this season with the new and upgraded 9-man rotation. So in our starting lineup, we now have ourselves LaMelo Ball, Josh Hart, Peyton Watson, Zion Williamson, and Jaren Jackson Jr. And then off the bench, we have Okongwu, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Max Christie, and Quentin Grimes. I feel like this season our team has a really good shot at winning a championship. But now let's go ahead and simulate the first week and see how our team does. So we do go on to defeat the Mavericks and the Grizzlies. Against the Mavs, Zion had a 29-point double-double, Josh Hart with a 14-point double-double, 14 from Triple J. He scored 128 points here against the Grizzlies. Zion went off for 36 points and 12 rebounds. 19 from Watson, and LaMelo had himself a 14-point, 16 assist game. And don't forget, we also brought in a new head coach. We will be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under Ty Lue. I'm now going to start simulating here until the end of this season, but if there's any trades to be made, I'll stop here at the trade deadline to show you all. A few players on our team want to sign a contract extension, one of them being Max Christie, so I'm going to go ahead and extend him for the next 2 seasons, paying him $10 million annually, which he goes on to happily accept. And Okongwu also wants to re-sign with our team, so I will offer him a 3-year deal, paying him about $11.7 million annually, and he happily accepts as well. At the end of this season, Anthony Edwards goes on to win MVP, Darren Peterson Rookie of the Year, Jalen Green 6-man, Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player, Scoot Henderson Most Improved, Tyrese Maxey Clutch Player, Ty Lue, our head coach, wins Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive of the Year. Let's take a look at all NBA selections, and we do get ourselves LaMelo Ball and Zion Williamson on all NBA third team. Let's go. What about on an all defensive team? No Jaren Jackson Jr. this time around, but that is alright because we ended this season being the number 1 seed, winning a total of 75 games and losing only 7. Our team was absolutely unstoppable. Hopefully we're able to continue this regular season success into the playoffs. But before that, let's take a look at the player stats. So our leading scorer was none other than Zion Williamson, averaging 27 points per game and 8 rebounds, as well as 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. 22 points per game from LaMelo, 17 from Triple J, and 14 from Okongwu. Everything was clicking for us, and hopefully it could click for us here in the playoffs as well, because in the first round we will be taking on the Houston Rockets once again. They have themselves Reed Shepherd, Colin Sexton, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Şengün. They have Amen Thompson coming off of their bench as their 6th man. Now let's get to simulating game number 1. We'll go to the Houston Rockets. Game number 2, we do end up winning though. Zion drops 30 points, 23 from Watson. Game number 2 will also go to us, Zion dropping a 29-point double-double, 2 assists shy from a triple-double. LaMelo had himself 17 assists. Let's go. And now we're up 3-1, and we end up gentlemen sweeping the Houston Rockets. So far, Zion is averaging 34 points per game here in the playoffs. LaMelo is averaging 15. And how is Triple J doing? He's averaging 17. And it looks like in the second round of the playoffs, we will be taking on Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. They have themselves De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Vassell, Kuminga, Victor Wembanyama, and Dylan Harper as their sixth man. This is a pretty stacked team. It looks like they were the number 5 seed. Game number 1 will go to us. LaMelo with 28 and 23 from Zion. Game number 2 will also go to us, as does game 3. Let's go. Zion dropping 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists here in game 3. LaMelo with a 26-point double-double. And we go on to sweep the San Antonio Spurs. Zion continues dominating the playoffs, averaging 33 points per game, and LaMelo is averaging 19 points and 11 assists per game. Let's go. In the Western Conference Finals, we will be taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have Colin Gillespie, Anthony Edwards, Trey Murphy III, Naz Reid, and Rudy Gobert. I believe they are the defending champions, and yes, they are. They were the ones to win the championship last year. Game number 1 will go to us. Zion with 36, 9, and 11. LaMelo with 30 and 16 assists. Game number 2 does end up going to the Timberwolves. We lose here by 1 single point. Triple J had 25. 21 and 11 from Zion. Game number 3 does end up going to us. Triple J leading the way here with 34 points. Zion with 20, 17-point double-double from LaMelo. It looks like Zion did foul out in 30 minutes. Can we also go on to win game 4? And yes, we can. Zion goes off here for 37 points, 23 from LaMelo, and 21 and 12 from Josh Hart. Are we going to gentlemen sweep the Minnesota Timberwolves? And yes, we will. LaMelo Ball goes on winning Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 12 assists. Tyrese Haliburton, Eastern Conference Finals MVP for the Indiana Pacers. And that means we will be taking on the Indiana Pacers here in the NBA Finals, and they have themselves Tyrese Haliburton, Luke Dort, Jarris Walker, Pascal Siakam, and Avia Zubac. And their bench is pretty stacked as well. I'm not going to lie, they were the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Game number 1 will go to us. Zion dropping 39, 26 from Triple J, and 25 from Watson. Game number 2 will also go to us. We do end up losing game 3 here. Hallie had 38 points on us. They held us to 89 points. Game number 4, we end up winning here with Triple J leading the way with 27 points. Zion with a 24-point double-double. And are we going to gentlemen sweep the Indiana Pacers? We do not gentlemen sweep them. It looks like it will go to a game 6. And we do end up winning in game 6, winning the New Orleans Pelicans and Zion Williamson a championship. The man himself, Zion, goes on winning Finals MVP, averaging 29 points per game, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, shooting 69% from the field. We will be running it back one more season to see if our team can go on to win a back-to-back championship, but before that, let me show you guys the player stats for the playoffs. We played a total of 20 games and Zion was leading the way here, averaging 31 points per game, 8 rebounds and 6 assists, as well as 1 steal and 1 block. A 19-point double-double from LaMelo, 18 from Triple J, and 14 from Okongwu. And again, we will be running it back and seeing if we can go on to win a back-to-back championship. What I am going to do is simulate past the offseason and the regular season and see you guys in the next year's playoffs. This season, our team went on to win the NBA Cup Finals with LaMelo Ball winning NBA Cup MVP, averaging 24 points per game and 9 assists. It looks like we took on the New Orleans Pelicans and LaMelo Ball dropped 39 points and 13 assists. Zion had 29 and 28 from Nickel. We dropped 174 points. Every single player in our lineup had 10 points or more. There is one game remaining of this season and Zion Williamson is in the award races to winning MVP. Let's see if he can go on to win that. It looks like he will go on to win his first ever MVP, averaging 26 points per game, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block while shooting 64% from the field. Let's go. CJ wins Rookie of the Year, and holy, bro was averaging 25 points per game and 12 rebounds. That is insane for a rookie. Josh Giddey, 6th Man of the Year. Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player. Cam Boozer, Most Improved. Jamal Murray, Clutch Player. Ty Lue wins Coach of the Year once again. We also win Executive of the Year. And of course, the MVP Zion makes it on All NBA First Team. Do we have any more selections? Yes, we do, getting LaMelo Ball on All NBA Second Team. And what about on All Defensive Team? No Triple J once again, which is kind of a surprise because he is our best defender. But we ended this season being the #1 seed, winning 77 games and losing only 5. I'm not sure if this was the same record as last season. I believe it was. And never mind, I looked back and it looks like last season we lost 7 games, so this season we did even better than the season prior, which is absolutely amazing. Before we start simulating the playoffs, let's take a look at player stats. So our MVP, Zion Williamson, was averaging 26 points per game as our leading scorer, 21 from LaMelo, 18 from Triple J, 17 from Okongwu, who's been playing amazing. He was shooting 46% from the 3-point line. 15 from Peyton Watson, and 13 from Nah. I'm so surprised that Okongwu did not win 6th Man of the Year. Bro was playing absolutely amazing, averaging 17 points and 7.5 rebounds as our 6th man, but it is what it is. And now in the first round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Sacramento Kings. They have themselves Devin Carter, Isaiah Joe, AJ DeBonsa, CJ Rosser. The rookie that was averaging 25 points per game is with the Sacramento Kings. They also have Sabonis at that center position. And the draft class that I used clearly was not accurate because a rookie should not be an 87 overall, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and start simulating the playoffs. Game number 1 will go to us. LaMelo dropping 35, 27 from Zion, and 20 from Okongwu. Game number 2 will end up going to the Sacramento Kings. Okay, and their rookie just dropped 41 points on our head. Game 3 will end up going to us though, and their rookie is going off 31 and 10, but Okongwu dropped 25, Zion with 21. We are now up 2-1. Let's see if we can make that 3-1, and we cannot, so they do end up defeating us here, and their rookie goes off dropping 34 points and 17 rebounds. That is a little bit of OP rookie, to be honest. Bro is averaging 32 points per game. 28 from Triple J, 24 and 13 from LaMelo. I will come up with a defensive coach game plan and then we'll advance to game 5. Alrighty, I have come up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's jump into Simcast. The series is tied at 2-2 apiece. We will have home court advantage here, and we do start off the first half pretty strong, but can we keep that lead? And yes, we can. We end up winning 123-104. Peyton Watson leading the way here with 27 points, 21 from Zion. All we gotta do now is win one more game, and the Kings do have home court advantage. So far we do have the lead, and it looks like we will be winning 140-121. Zion led the way here, dropping 41 points, 25 and 12 from LaMelo. And now in the second round of the playoffs, we are taking on the OKC Thunder. They still have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Wallace, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and it looks like their starting center now is Thomas Sorber, but their bench unit is still stacked. Let's see how things go here in this series. Game number 1 will go to us. Peyton Watson leading the way with 31 points. Game 2, we also end up winning Triple J with a 32-point double-double. We win game 3, and we sweep the OKC Thunder. So far here in the playoffs, Zion is averaging 26 points per game, LaMelo is averaging 20 points and 10 assists, and Triple J is averaging 16 points per game. It looks like in the Western Conference Finals, we will be taking on the San Antonio Spurs. They have themselves De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Vassell, Jonathan Kuminga, and Victor Wembanyama, and this is their bench unit. It seems like they did get a little better than the previous season because of progression, but hopefully we're able to defeat them here once again. Game number 1 does end up going to them. They win here by 2 points, 143-141. Zion played amazing, but we do fall short. Game 2 will go to us, LaMelo leading the way with 27 points. We do end up losing game 3 as well, and now I will come up with a defensive coach game plan. I have now come up with a defensive coach game plan. We are down 2-1. Let's jump into Simcast and see if we can come back. The Spurs will have home court advantage here. And so far they do have the lead, but can we push back? We are pushing back. We're up by 4, 8 minutes remaining. And let's see what happens. It looks like we will be winning this game 121-114. Zion dropping 40 points, 24 from Peyton Watson. The series is tied at 2-2 apiece. Let's jump into Simcast once again. This time we have home court advantage. We do start off the first half really strong. looks like we will be winning 143 to 119. Clearly the defensive coach game plan has been working. Zion dropping 24, 21 from Watson, and 18 from Triple J. And I also forgot to mention, when I did come up with a defensive coach game plan, I also changed up some player shot tendencies. Like LaMelo Ball's shot tendency was at a 90, so I hired it because he has been playing amazing here in the playoffs. But for this next game, the Spurs will have home court advantage. And so far we do have the lead, but they take it right back, and it looks like they will be winning this game 130 to 125. Zion had 39, 28, and 14 from LaMelo, 12 from Triple J. And oh man, this is going to game 7. The Hawks have already made it to the NBA Finals. Let's jump into Simcast here and see what happens, and thankfully we will have home court advantage on our side. So far they do have the lead, but we do push back here in the third quarter and take it right back from them. We are up by 10 points, 5 minutes remaining, and it looks like we will be winning 141 to 127. Let's go. LaMelo dropping 33 points and 13 assists, Zion with 25 and 23 from Triple J. And our boy LaMelo Ball goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging a 25-point double-double. Jalen Johnson Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and that means we are taking on the Atlanta Hawks here in the NBA Finals. They have Darius Cuff, Dyson Daniels, Zachary Risache, Jalen Johnson, and DeAndre Ayton. They also have Derek Queen, who we traded to them. This is their bench unit. Let's see if we can go on to win a back-to-back championship. Game number 1 will go to the Hawks. Zion had 32, 25 from LaMelo, but we do fall short, losing that game by 7 points. Game number 2 will go to us though, Zion with a 34-point double-double. We held them to 95 points. Game 3 will end up going to us 129 to 121. Zion dropping 29, 23 from Triple J, 22 and 12 from LaMelo. Can we also win Game 4 to go up 3 to 1? And yes, we can. Triple J leading the way here with 27 points. All we gotta do now is win one more game, and then we'll have won a championship. And let's go, we end up defeating the Atlanta Hawks here in Game 5 to win the New Orleans Pelicans a back-to-back championship. And our regular season MVP also wins the Finals MVP, averaging 30 points per game, 7 rebounds, 5 assists on 74% from the field. And that is a perfect way to end out this video, but before that, let me show you guys the player stats for the playoffs. So we played a total of 22 games, and in those 22 games, the leading scorer was Zion Williamson, averaging 28 points per game, 21 from LaMelo, and 16 from Watson. Watson was really good for us in the regular season and in the playoffs. I'm really happy we traded for him. In the NBA Finals, we played 5 games. The leading scorer here was Zion, averaging 30 points per game, 18 from LaMelo, and 18 from Triple J. And now that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button and also subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 rebuilds. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so please make sure you hit that subscribe button. And click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. And until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.